Hi everyone, it's Tanya from Cup of Cha Tea Channel, the place for all those tea addicts and tea lovers to build your tea knowledge. And in this episode, I have my really good friend, Kaishan from Libertea here at Prahran Markets. She's come in to help me to discuss Gaiwans. Last episode, or in a previous episode, you may remember I talked about Gong Fu Cha and developing your own tea pieces and for your own precious tea memories. Now I wanted to talk about Gaiwans at the time, but quite honestly, yes, I do use them, but I'm not a specialist in that area.
And I wouldn't claim that I am, but yes.
Actually, Kaishan was just saying something about making mistakes earlier to me.
Yeah.
That it's good to make mistakes.
Yes, yeah. My experience of learning about tea is constantly being corrected. And you will find that it's a process of learning something new, and you will have that moment of, oh, okay, I got it. And then just, 2 months down the track, someone else will tell you a revised version. And then you are wrong again.
Yeah. So today what we're going to talk about is the Gaiwan. And the Gaiwan has a very long history in China. And why I have come to Kaishan is because she has a particular love for the Gaiwan.
Yes.
She also goes back to China regularly and studies under some pretty skilled tea brewers.
I'm studying the art of brewing.
Yes.
And I want to say that I prefer using Gaiwan because it's good for tasting and assessing as well.
Yes.
And I do believe that using Gaiwan will enhance different senses, during the tea brewing process. So because, we'll get into it, more in depth later.
Yeah.
But, Gaiwan essentially means, a bowl with a lid.
Yeah.
So if you open the lid, then you'll be able to view the leaves and then see the color of the liquid as well.
Yeah.
So that's one of the senses. And then also having a wide rim will allow you to smell the tea a lot better. And then passing the lid around.
Oh, we all love the lid.
Yeah, so that's the sense of smell. And
so what we're going to do is we're going to look at 4 parts. First off, we'll look at a quick history of the Gaiwan.
Yeah.
We're going to look at the reasons why Kaishan loves Gaiwans.
Yeah.
We're also going to look at how to use a Gaiwan, how to hold it and pour with it. And the final one is you're going to discuss what to look for when you're purchasing a Gaiwan.
Yeah.
Some tips. So, over to you, some history of the Gaiwan.
Yes. So essentially, when Gaiwan was first used, it was just the middle part, which is a bowl. And then maybe 1,000 years ago, I'm not quite sure about the time exactly, a lady was holding the bowl and feel that it was too hot. So she randomly pick up a plate and place the bowl on top of it. And because she came from a wealthy family, and she also find it annoying where the bowl is sliding on the plate, so she had contracted someone to make a plate with a dent in it so the bowl would catch it on, so it won't spill on yourself. So people had started, in the wealthy circle back then, start drinking tea such as this. Yeah, and then eventually they also feel that they should add a lid on it. So, and then the Gaiwan is now complete. So there are 3 parts of the Gaiwan: the bowl, the lid, and the saucer. And in Chinese, we call it San Cai Gaiwan. It means, it all represents something. The lid is the sky, and then the plate is the earth.
The earth, yeah.
Yeah, the bowl is the people. So
people.
This is the universe that we are holding. Yeah, and I find that, really beautiful.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So that's how Gaiwan had come about. And also I would like to touch on that, in Beijing still this day, it was used for, drinking tea, not just for brewing. So even in Beijing, in some of the old tea house, you will find that people will drink tea in the Gaiwan, and I'm going to let Tanya, have some J Sparrow in this Gaiwan, as you would in Beijing.
Ah,
Yeah.
so she's game to let me have a go at this.
So because the leaf is still in the bowl, so
Yeah.
when you drink it, it's really hot now. We might do this later.
Yeah.
The key is you brush the leaves aside with the lid, and then it was also used back then to hide your teeth, because you should not be showing your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to drink.
Yeah.
And also when you're hosting someone and you don't want to ask them to leave, because it's rude to say
Yes.
that, okay, it's time for you to leave, right? So we also used to use
My brother
the Gaiwan.
does that to his guests. He goes, "I'm going to bed. See you later."
They also, will put away the Gaiwan or
Yeah.
push it aside, means, okay, it's time for you to leave.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's this is a very important thing in a social setting back then, where, gentle body gesture would suggest, if what you should do next. Yeah.
Subtlety is the word.
Yeah. When you drink, you will do it this way, but if there's a lot of leaves on the top, you will want to brush it away.
I'll
like
brush
that.
it away and
Yeah.
then I drink like this.
Yeah.
So you get the aroma and everything at the same
Yeah.
time.
So it's primarily used to brew green tea this way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So
and
the next thing we were going to look at was, why do you like Gaiwan so much?
I touched that on the introduction.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. She gets excited.
Yes. So I like using Gaiwan because, in a tea shop setting, especially for tea tasting, I feel that, firstly, Gaiwan is primarily made with China. So the taste of the tea doesn't get absorbed into the material. So for example, if you use a Yixing for tea tasting, then, if you let the tea leaf sit in the Yixing pot, then the teapot will start smell like that tea, right?
Yep.
This one, the tea doesn't stay with the bowl. You wash it and then it's ready for the next tea.
Yeah.
And then also, if you brew tea this way, you'll be able to see the leaves, as they unfold, and you'll be able to smell the aroma a little bit better. And that's why I prefer, to do this, because sometimes I do my cupping in Gaiwan as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you don't have the cupping equipment, Gaiwan is also
Gaiwans.
a very good replacement to do to assess your tea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then we're going to look at how to use a Gaiwan. Like you've shown me with personal use.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
which you pour away the leaf,
Yeah.
and then you don't watch me drinking it.
Yeah. You hide behind the leaf. Yeah.
That's me being very discreet, yes.
Yes.
But if we were pouring into a
Yeah.
into a fairness cup,
Yes. So I was drinking a Yin De Hong, and that's not it. Yin De Hong is a black tea from Guangdong province, which is where I'm from. So to show you how to use a Gaiwan, firstly, where you hold the Gaiwan is quite important. If I can show you without the
should I
lid.
move over?
Oh, that's okay. So what we want to do is to hold, put your fingers on 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And preferably your hand should be level with the bowl.
6 o'clock and 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
and
so like
level.
that. Yeah. And it might be a little bit tricky when you're first, holding it, because it doesn't come very natural for me anyway. But over time, you will see that the more level of your hand, the better you can maneuver when the water go into the fairness cup. And then now I'm gonna add the lid.
Yes.
And then, before I going to add the lid, how you place the lid is also very important. You want to leave a very, very small gap for the water to come out. So ideally 2 millimeter.
2 mil?
Yeah.
Millimeter, yeah.
Yeah, but you should be able to adjust it. That's a trick that not many people will show, is that your finger holding the top part, you know, you should be able to move it so you can adjust the flow of the water.
Power tip there. Practice moving your finger.
Yes.
Your pointy finger. So
Yes.
you can move the lid of the Gaiwan.
Yes, so like, you know, sometimes when you're pulling the water out,
Yeah.
you see that, oh, the tea is not strong enough, then you slowly close it so it pull out a little bit slower. So the, you know, the water that come out later will be stronger to adjust, you know, the taste of the tea. Yeah, and that is one of the tricks that you will need to learn before working in a Chinese tea shop back in China.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want the client to know, oh, I make a mistake, I pick it up too quickly. So I gently close the lid and make the tea stronger.
So I want to know how many tea sommeliers out there actually know that tip about how to use a Gaiwan, because you're not going to get a job in China otherwise.
Yes, yes.
I love it.
Yes. So, so that comes to, you know, my third points in holding the Gaiwan is that a lot of people do that. At first, I'm also doing that.
Yes.
But I feel that it's much better if you just, you know, straighten your finger and point.
Yes.
One is you can control the lid a lot easier.
Yeah.
And two is where your finger is pulling is where you're pointing at is where the water coming out.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's like riding a bike. Look where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it gives you a lot more stability
Stability.
if you just use the one finger point on the lid. Yeah.
So you don't point at people over there, but you can do it with your finger.
Yeah.
Subtle
Yeah.
on the side.
Yes.
That's
Now,
like
if we're doing, you know, art of brewing, then another tip I will give you is don't raise your elbow as I did when I first started it. Yeah, as I pick up that, you know, all your arms should be close to your body.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have to at home. But
It's good practice and
Yeah.
good etiquette.
yes, but when you're pulling teeth, what you want to turn is your wrist.
Okay.
Like that. Then I'll show you.
You know, when I was a little girl growing up, and you learn to use a fork and knife,
Yeah. Oh, also the elbow? Okay.
elbows
Good
were
to know.
always in, and you know,
Yes.
oh man, I would get into so much trouble from my mum
Yeah.
if I had my elbows out and be like elbows in, and you learnt to eat like that. It's the same thing.
Same thing, yes.
There you go.
So to, you know, revisit the few pointers I have. So firstly, place your lid on an angle, leaving a 2 millimeter gap, and then fingers, thumb and your middle finger place on 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock, and then point to where you want to pull. You know, make sure you hold it steadily and then turn your wrist.
Wow,
That's it. Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Thank you. Good.
That is lovely.
Yeah.
So, do I get to try some of that tea?
Yeah, sure.
So now some some tips for when
Picking
you're
up.
buying.
Yes,
buy one.
sure. So I think the common fear of handling a Gaiwan is that you might burn yourself.
Yes. I
So
do.
it's very, very important to pick a Gaiwan that with a wide rim.
Wide rim, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that this Gaiwan is actually perfect because you see that the edge actually flare out a lot.
Yes.
So, you know, the wider it is,
Yes.
then the less likely that the heat will chance it. What's the word?
The heat will
Will
transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, expand up,
Yeah.
up that high.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, this part would not be hard for you to
Okay.
hold if it's wide.
Okay.
Another thing you look for is that you want like a taller handle. What do you call this?
Yeah, it's like a little handle, yeah.
So if it's
Knob.
taller, then yeah, you also won't be hurting yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. And then another tip would be that, you know, buy a Gaiwan that fits your hand. And that's
Yes.
also important. Like the gentleman will probably prefer a bigger Gaiwan. So, but some of the ladies, they have smaller hands. So then I would recommend something smaller, such as 100 ml to 150 ml. But with the gentleman, then I would start with 150 ml to 200 ml Gaiwan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also very important to find out how big your Gaiwan is, because and then you will adjust how much tea you want to put into it accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for fun, I bought a 250 ml Gaiwan here.
That's massive.
Yeah, because I host tea, you know, meet out here.
Yes.
So sometimes I need to meet a lot of tea. And good thing is, even though my hands are not very big, but I got long fingers, so I can just hold it. Yeah. But the good thing is I use the one, you know, the finger point, so I got a lot of stability here, so I don't need to worry about dropping the lid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So recapping on tips when you're buying your Gaiwan,
Yes.
look for one that has a really wide brim that flares out.
Yes.
It fits your hand at 9 and 12 o'clock.
6 and 12 o'clock.
6 and 12
Yes.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And it has a higher little handle on the lid,
Yeah.
so where the heat is not transferring as well.
Yes.
So you don't overfill your Gaiwans either inside with water, do you?
Yeah, I don't tend to do that because you will burn yourself. But in areas such as Chaozhou and Wuyi Mountain, they do that, and they have fingers of steel.
They've
Yeah, as I saw a lady who she won a lot of awards in tea brewing competition in China, and she was teaching me how to do Wuyi rock tea brewing with a Gaiwan, where they only use 3 cups. Because Taiwanese use 6 cups.
Yes.
And one of the processes you need to fill it to the top. So you know, there will be some fluff on the top.
Yeah.
And then you push that away.
I've seen that.
Then the water will be to the rim, and then she pick it up and start pouring, and I'm like, oh, your fingers.
You will find a link below to Kaishan's shop, her online shop, or you can come and see her here at Prahran Markets here in Melbourne. And thank you for explaining this. This is fun. You have regular meetups, don't you? Once a month?
Yeah, once a month I will host a meetup about anything tea related. Our next meetup is about Yixing Teapot.
Yeah.
So feel free to check us out on the Melbourne Meetup website.
Yeah, the Melbourne Tea Meetup group, but also you often post to the Facebook group, the Melbourne Tea Club, which I keep promoting all the time. Please join if you live in Melbourne.
Yeah, and you can also follow us on Instagram. That's probably the accounts that I update the most. Please check out our Instagram account. Is at Libertea_Melbourne.
Like I said, I'll put a link to that below. So in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you again. Please like and share if you've enjoyed this video. Place a comment below about how you learnt about using a Gaiwan. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.